Oh, it's still kind of wet when I put it in, so it probably didn't like.
That is what she said.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, May 22nd, 2015. This is episode 006 of the Friday Five, our weekly talk about e-commerce, technology, life hacks.
Life
hacks? We do life hacks. What is life hacks?
Yeah.
As usual, we have up in New York City, Bart Mroz.
Hey, I'm fully branded today for some odd reason. I don't get it.
What's going on with that?
It's all Sumo. It's a big promotion for Sumo.
And way down there in Alabama, Justin Nance.
Justin's not actually in Alabama.
Technically, I'm in Boston.
Oh, technically you're in Boston or you're physically in Boston?
A little bit of both.
Because I'm in the New York state of mind, so there you go.
So we're actually
New York,
all in the Northeast this time.
Speaking of New York, we all got to get together this week and be in the same meat space. That was interesting.
Meat space.
Same meat space.
John brands that every time. That was interesting. Let's say I was hungover on Wednesday.
Yeah, it was a room full of people. You know, interesting thing was we all went out to dinner and there was a whole other table of people that I couldn't even talk to, which that's a first.
That's a first, yeah. When we start going to lunches in groups, that's strange.
There were a whole lot of other tables that were scared of our table. So,
well, that's true. And there's also walking into glass doors. So there's that.
All right. So how's your noggin?
It's smaller. Still
hurts. All right, let's get started. First on the list, we're going to talk about Spotify.
Ooh, yeah. I like what they came out with.
Well, yeah. Spotify, you know, a lot of the streaming music services are in trouble. So Spotify is going to, go up and be more of a one-stop place for audio and video content, which would be really interesting. And what I really like is that they're going to incorporate podcasts. Anytime I can delete an app on my phone is a great day for me. So if I can pull all my podcasts into Spotify, it'd be a beautiful thing.
Right. No, that'd be kind of nice. And video, and then the running thing is kind of cool.
What's the running thing? I don't know what that is.
So so basically it will play music to the tempo of your running. So basically look at your whole list and we'll do it that way. I mean, there's apps for that already and stuff like that, but it's kind of nice to have it all in one.
So I would love to have an app where it's just the tempo of me just sitting here staring at this computer all day. Yeah.
I actually like everything that they're doing right now. I only just found out or realized that they had the integration with Uber, which is like my mistress at the moment. I love Uber. And so, I love that they've got the integration with Uber now where you can actually play your Spotify through the Uber's driver's radio.
Yeah, much to the dismay of the driver, I'm sure. You know, Justin, you were really having an affair with Uber when we were up there. It's like, we had to go to the office from the hotel, which was about 4 blocks, and he's trying to order up a car. I'm like, just use your feet. Let's just go.
Yeah, I did have a bad experience with them in Boston, but that's for another show.
Really?
I did. I had a bad experience.
I had a few. In the few years I've been using that, I had a few. They're not too crazy. They were fine.
Yeah.
Spotify is interesting. They're expanding to a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, it's not the only integration they have. They also have like integration with cars. Like BMW has an actual integration with it. As soon as you plug in, you can actually see it.
Yeah, that's great. I'm a subscriber and I get my money's worth tenfold.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do good deals, and I think that it shows, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, we're going to talk about PayPal. PayPal got struck with a $25 million fine for signing up users to its credit program. I use PayPal for a lot of things, and that really struck me as a little deceptive. It's basically a bad UI to get someone who really doesn't read the fine print to instead click the buy now button, click the bill me later button, which what they don't realize is they're being signed up for a credit card.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, bill me later, they bought a while ago. And it's basically a credit card, right? it doesn't have an actual physical credit card, but it's basically the same terms. And people don't get that.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. My son, I got an email from PayPal that my son was trying to buy something using Bill Me Later when he was 17.
Right.
And he doesn't realize the consequences of signing up for credit yet.
Right.
Which he learned right after we had that email come in. I had to sit him down and explain, listen, you just don't go and buy things on credit without having a plan.
Right.
But am I the only one that feels like $25 million in fines was not enough to even get their attention?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Like, what is that to PayPal? It's like a drop in the bucket. They probably made more off of the credit cards that they put people on illegally than they did in fines. So
right. So the other thing is with Bill Me Later, you can actually, a retailer can set that up on their sites. They were giving deals to retailers for a very long time. Basically the idea was that it was on the retail site and you don't have to pay anything for 6 months, but the retailer got paid anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
So that was a fun deal for them.
So did PayPal lose money on the deal?
No. I mean, it's kind of sucky. They have to rethink their Bill Me Later stuff, but I don't think so. I've used it before, just to, obviously we know to test stuff out and how it works, but.
I mean, I think the biggest hurt is going to be to their reputation, but at this point, they're basically a monopoly of online payments. So it is what it is, right?
Yeah, they're what do you call it? They're a verb. It's like, everyone thinks of paying online and the word PayPal comes up, whether that's the payment vehicle of choice or not.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see what happens when they spin out,
Because ask your grandma if she's used, Google Wallet,
Yeah.
but she knows what PayPal is.
Right. Interesting.
All right, next on the list. This is interesting for me only because I'm into the productivity space, and so are you, Bart. Microsoft is buying the company Six Wunderkinder, who makes the amazing task app Wunderlist, which some people go, big deal.
Wunderbar.
But I think this is part of, the bigger strategy with Microsoft, which is kind of surprising because Microsoft, isn't known for being cool at all.
Yeah, but lately they've been buying up companies. They've been
right. That's exactly the point.
Which is my favorite email client on my phone. Sunrise, which is one of my favorite.
What was the other one they bought?
Acompli,
right.
Which is Outlook now. They bought Sunrise, which is one of my favorite calendar apps. And then
Sunrise is amazing, and it's just funny. Last week, Sunrise became integrated with Wunderlist, and now they basically snapped them both up.
Right, which is kind of cool, right? So you have that whole, marketplace. They're just going after apps that make sense.
Yeah,
with the part of the great something like Acompli, they haven't changed anything. They just rebranded to Outlook. That is it.
Yeah, which is a good thing. They're not doing what Google does. Is basically let's shut down a competitor. But buy the competitor, make the co-founders miserable until they leave, and then shut the app down.
Yeah, but John, the difference is Google actually made good software at once upon a time, and Microsoft was like, I feel like the new strategy is, yeah, fuck it, we can't make software anymore. Let's just buy somebody.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. They never made anything cool, and I think if I'm reading between the lines, I think they're trying to get back to dominating email, which they did at one time with Outlook.
Or actually dominating productivity than anything else.
And dominate productivity. I mean, Microsoft Office is a piece of crap, but now you can run all that stuff through the cloud, and they've it's come a long way. But
actually, Outlook in the cloud, like the mail stuff they have in the cloud stuff, is actually really nice.
I loved. You know what? I have used it because I set it up for something on the side, and it was actually a pretty good experience. But I loved using Outlook, but it was a piece of shit on the Mac. And it was unusable because it had some nice calendar integration. You could make your to-do list. You could have plugins, and it was very extensible, but it ran like a piece of shit on the Mac.
Yeah. The only time I've ever had a Mac crash is when it was running Microsoft software.
Exactly.
Wow.
I mean, to this day, the only piece of software I have a problem with on this computer is when I launch Word, for some reason, the icon doesn't appear in the bar. You know that it's running and it says Word, but there's no icon.
It's so strange.
That and the fact that I have to go walk my dog when I launch the app.
I have a similar issue. When I open Word on it, the icon doesn't appear, but it more just looks like this, right in the middle. That's all I get.
My little poop emoji.
Nice. So we'll see how they do. I think that's some cool stuff they're buying. So
yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. Good. I
guess if you have a productivity app that fits something, go to Microsoft, get bought. You know.
Yeah.
So let's write a productivity app.
Okay.
There's a life hack for you. All right. Next on the list is the Olio watch. Justin, you could take the lead on this one.
You buddy.
He showed me this the other day. It was pretty impressive.
So I like it. I like it a lot. And anybody who's watched the earlier episodes knows that I wasn't a huge proponent of the Apple Watch, mainly.
But when I was here, I was trying to buy one, like, I don't know, in Brooklyn somewhere. Or no, I'm sorry, Staten Island.
That was the alcohol speaking.
Oh, really? Sure.
No, so my major gripe with the Apple Watch was the price point for what you're getting. I feel like it had the usual Apple markup on it. And also, a lot of people have the same gripe, is that I'm not sure that I need such a huge app ecosystem on my wrist. I just don't. And so the things that I really liked about Olio, or the things that caught my attention, was it's a great design, first of all. It actually looks like a premier nice watch, which I'm kind of I'm a watch guy anyway. You know, I've got Omegas. I love nice watches, and this actually looks like a luxury, quote unquote, watch. It's nice, and the interface looks nice and slick. It's got all the things that you would expect to have on a smartwatch, and none of the things that you would be surprised by. So I kind of like it. My only hesitation with the whole thing is that they've apparently built their own operating system. It's not running off of Android or a flavor of Android, and it's definitely not anything Apple put out. And so I'm worried about longevity with it. But if it's right out of the gate, it seems like a really good product.
Yeah, be interesting. I like the round design. I mean, there's the Moto stuff that's out there. Obviously, I have one, but it's not it's not alert stuff. I don't want alerts on my wrist. I'm okay with my does.
I mean, I know that
calendar would be kind of cool, but
I know that you can put what you need on the Apple Watch, but the Apple Watch tends to start off with, here's everything we think you need, and that's just a ton of apps, and then you've got to customize the experience. And from what I've read, when they did the software update last week, it dumped all the apps you deleted back in. I like something that's just clean, and I all I ask for is be able to tell time and not have to, do all kind of gestures and bullshit.
Right.
All the time, and get a certain amount of notifications, like text or email or something like that. I don't need to be notified of everything that's going on in the world, because then I'll just pull out my phone. But the design of this, it mimics a classic watch design. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. And I'll echo what Justin said, is that my only concern is, 3 years from now, when they stop updating the software, are you going to be stuck? Is this going to get bricked?
Who knows, right?
And the price point's a little high. I mean, it's priced as a luxury watch. It's, what is it, 800?
Yeah, I think it's like you can get the one with the leather band for like $550, I think, or $600, and then you go up from there as you add stainless steel stuff. But to that end, you're looking at the mid-range Apple Watch still runs $700 for stainless steel and sapphire glass. It's not nearly as pretty, and I don't know. I just don't see it.
Yeah, it's definitely beautiful. I would love to actually see one in the flesh.
I love their interface. Just from what I saw online, I love that calendar notifications show up as the little blue ring around the face. So
that's a cool UI experience.
Yeah, it looks very cool.
I mean, even the typography is like real subtle, easily to read, and it's really nice.
Yeah, it's kind of a designer's wet dream. It's really slick.
Do we know where these guys are from, or is this just a little Kickstarter kind of thing where some guy says, "Hey, fellas, let's make a watch"?
I have no idea. They're completely sold out already, but I have no idea where they're from, how they got funded, what their history is. I honestly don't know. I just saw it and I got mesmerized. So
there's a TechCrunch. Oh, no, here we go. There's a TechCrunch article, which we didn't bother to read. You know what? If you look at these photos, Justin, I don't know if you can see this. The TechCrunch photos aren't as pretty as the ones on the website.
You know, I was kind of scared of that because one of the things that I noticed was none of the photos and videos of the interface were shown on an actual device. It was like a nice photo of the device, and then they laid video over the face.
Right.
So I was a little bit hesitant about that they didn't actually show any live prototypes. But
it's pretty, but you could tell that this guy just had a couple watches thrown on a table and shot it with a smartphone.
Yeah, I'll check it
So
out.
it's the brainchild of former Apple and HP product designer Stephen Jacobs. So he's an Apple guy.
Cool.
Yeah. So then you get the press photo. It's like nice and beautiful.
Right. That is what it is. All right.
Okay, and finally, the product of the week. This kind of, I don't know. It's called the KFC Tray Typer. And my favorite company in the world, KFC, their advertising agency in Germany came up with a promotion. And this is one of those things that, you know, it's not practical in the least. It's just to get buzz. They created this thing called the KFC Tray Typer, and it's basically a tray liner that doubles as a Bluetooth keyboard.
Right.
So when you're sitting there eating your greasy chicken, you connect this keyboard to your phone, you sync it up with the Bluetooth, and you can type on the tray instead of getting your chicken grease all over the phone screen.
Yeah, so yeah, you know, maybe that will work well in Germany, but especially being from Alabama, most of the people that I know that love KFC and would go inside and sit down and eat KFC as a meal think that Bluetooth is something their dentist diagnosed them with the last time they were there.
Bluetooth?
No, it's just one, singular, tooth.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I got Tyson a Bluetooth. Look at right here. No,
gold, we're rocking the blue.
Typically, it's the last one they have left. It's literally the Bluetooth.
So you know where it is actually would work? Anywhere in the Caribbean. So I've been to Tobago and Trinidad. I just came back from Barbados. Literally, in Tobago's airport, there's 7 restaurants. 5 of them are chicken places. There's churches, there's KFC, and a whole bunch of local ones, but there's 7 restaurants and 5 of them are chicken places.
Amazing.
There's KFCs on it's like Starbucks down there.
All right, so I can actually see the overseas market because thinking back, when my wife and I were in South Africa last, they had only just gotten KFC in like the last 2 years.
Right.
And it is still, and in fairness, I'll back this statement up, but it's almost like it's a lot higher class, let's put it that way, than the KFC here. Like
no, absolutely. It's totally different, but it's just like, it's so funny to like see that. You're like, what the, why? Okay.
Well, I mean, the chicken is actually a lot better. It's not as greasy, and the quality is a lot better out of season, I guess, because they're not sourcing it from the same places where they do here.
It's usually side of the road, so.
Right. So.
I mean, that's just, you know, when you drive around, I mean, that's really what is around.
But again, back to the case at hand, South Africa and Bluetooth, it's almost the same scenario as we find in Alabama. Like, it's, I just can't see the people using it there.
I don't know.
At any rate, this was a promotion, and you know, I think it got the mileage they wanted out of it. It was just something to get attention. They did a limited run, and they said they had a very positive reaction to it, and that all the tray typers were taken home. Now, I don't know what these people are doing with this greasy ass keyboard in their house once they get it home, but.
Imagine connected to your, this is where you could use it actually. Check this out. You take it on the plane with your iPad, and you stand up your iPad and you type it on your iPad.
There you go.
In the plane, and then you fold it up and crinkle it, and wipe your mouth and stuff. It's for your gum, New meaning of gum being on your keyboard.
Yeah.
Anyway, this concludes our episode number 6 of fun. Justin, don't kill yourself on the motorcycle.
Yeah, I'm gonna try not to.
I still need you. Johnny boy, just be Johnny boy.
Okay, I'll do that. And Justin, I want to see the video of you lighting the barbecue grill with the exhaust of the motorcycle.
I definitely will do that just for you.
Can we work on that?
Yeah.
All right, guys, want to wrap it up?
Yeah, happy Memorial Day weekend, guys.
Hey, happy Memorial Day. Don't drink too much. Wear sunscreen.
Words of wisdom, sir. Words of wisdom.
All right. Wrap it up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. Peace.